So now that we have the sketch ready and we're familiar with our Blender shortcuts, let's start blocking out our scene. So this is going to be our initial file in Blender. Super simple. You'll find it in the project files, but it's just basic default cube, the sun or directional light, the camera, and of course the background thing. So whenever I start with a project like this, I usually just add the reference image to the scene in its proper place, because it's always going to be there and I need to work the composition around it and stuff. So we press Ctrl-Alt-Q to get all the views, and then from the front view we press Shift-A and then go to the image reference, add our sketch, go to reference image, and then we'll have it here. Maybe scale the camera a bit, Ctrl-Alt-Q again, then scale down the image, move it a little bit like so, maybe move it to the back, then scale it up. I think this looks okay. So first things first, we gotta check like the items that we have in our list. Of course, the plane in the back is just background, so let's call it background. And then usually I start with the primitive stuff, like the primitive objects. It's just a sphere, we can start with it. So Shift-A, mesh, add a UV sphere, place it here, maybe go to the wireframe view with Z. Then just put it in the spot. It's good. And then of course we rename it helmet. That's one thing. And then we want to create the body. The body is looking like a banana in a way. It's like this flexible object. So first of all, cube, scale it down. And you also, if you don't want any distraction, you can hide the helmet. So something like this. And then go again, the cube here, go to wireframe mode, go to edit mode with tab, and then select the polygons. Oh yeah, also like visibility with the cube, so maybe we can reduce the opacity of the image in the back. And you can basically just go to this tab with the image data here, and then check the box of the opacity, and then maybe reduce it to 0.5, maybe 0.4. Doing it, but okay, it's fine. Now it's a little bit better, so let's take our polygon, scale it up a bit, and then extrude, scale it down, move it, extrude with E again, rotate with R, scale it down with S, and again, so just that it follows that shape. And maybe scale it down, and of course just rotate it a little bit so it's the next facing camera. Too much, maybe something like this. Yeah, I think this is okay. So this would be the body. Let's add the arms. So with the arms, we can utilize the linked duplicate that we learned in one of the previous lessons, and can just mirror it so we have the other arm and the leg as well. So let's do the arm. So first of all, hide this body thing, then add the arm here, Shift-A, and then add the cube. Of course, we scale it down, move it to its place. Then go to edit mode with tab, and then wireframe, and as usual, again, extrude and move and scale and rotate. Just that it follows that circular shape in a way. More, bigger, you have the arm. For the fingers, it's just that we're blocking the initial shapes, right? So we don't have to be super accurate. I just have the placement of stuff. So I'll just take this polygon, press Shift-D to duplicate it, scale it down, and then extrude it like so. Now we have thumb here, and then just select it with L, and then duplicate it here as well, and then maybe this is like the smallest, so something like this. So if we go to the solid view, you can see we have the arm like blocked out. That's what we could. So we just rename it to arm left. And then if you want to duplicate, so Alt-D, and then if you want to have it on the other side, so scale, so S on the X axis by -1, and then we can just move it to here. We scale it up a bit. Yep, something like this for now. Of course, we're going to change it, but it's just a block out, so it's fine. And yeah, we can just rename this arm R, arm right. The legs now, so let's hide this, hide this. With monkeys, usually the hands kind of look like the legs a little bit. Not too much, there's some difference in proportions, but since it's just a block out, I'm just gonna block out like a normal human feet. Just add another cube. Rotate it, put it in its place, and then go edit mode again with tab. Select the polygon, then at the bottom, and then scale it up. Extrude, extrude again. But here, I mean, we can of course do it from the camera view, but with the legs, maybe I'll just do it from all the angles here because I want some more depth to it. So I'm just gonna extrude here and then build it here and then go back to the camera view again, then extrude. So now when I go to object mode, I rotate it, and now we have the legs here. Maybe just move this a little bit so we have something like this. And of course, you can press Alt D to link duplicate for the other side, and then just you can tweak it a little bit. Yeah, I think it's fine. But yeah, of course, rename them to leg R, leg L. So yeah, let's unhide everything just to see what we've created so far. The helmet, the body, the arms, and the legs. So now with all of them, you can see all of them are super rough. Again, it's a block out, so it's fine. But we can also make them a little bit smoother. So we go to the wrench icon here, the modifier tab. Then we just add a modifier. There's a lot of modifiers. I really suggest that you guys go through all of them and just check what they do. But of course, like in this specific case, we want to make the surface a bit smoother. I mean, you can do it with beveling and stuff, but it's nice doing it with modifiers because it's non-destructive in a way. So we're going to use the subdivision surface, and from the icon you can see it's like a grayed out cube and a sphere in the middle. So basically it can make a model more smooth in a way. So let's try it on cube right now. If you add a subdivision modifier to it, it becomes more of a sphere in a way. A little bit rough, but still a sphere, and you can actually increase the levels. So I'm going to just add a subdivision modifier, subdivision surface. Of course, you might need to edit it a little bit more, so maybe something like this, so it fits the sketch. It's fine. And then we add subdivision modifier for the arms as well. The legs. And maybe for the legs, it's a little bit too smooth when it comes to the knees and stuff, so maybe we can add another edge loop, a little bit sharper. It's not necessary because, again, just a block out, nothing more. So yeah, something like that. This is okay. So now that we have all objects here, yeah, we can also do the face. For the face, we can also just add the modifier, subdivision modifier right now. Then we can add another one for the face. We have like the fur part and the skin part. And we're just going to add another front block out for the skin part. Something like this. Maybe I'll add an edge loop for the eyebrow place. I think this is okay. But also maybe we can block out the ears. So add a cube. Make it a little bit flat. Then we have the ears in the back. See? Yeah, so the ears here. And also rotated and scale it down, and we have the other one. Yeah, this is nice. We have the head blocked out now. So the head, the helmet, everything here. Maybe we can do the cap as well. So add a cube. And for the cap, I prefer to do something like this. Before rotating it, I can model it a little bit. And then once we rotate it, we can just check final bits at the very end. So for the cap, let's just go edit mode again with tab and then Control R to add an edge loop, Control R to add an edge loop as well. And then I want to make it more circular. So I select, this one is already selected, the loop here. I can select the other loop with Alt Shift and then click. And then I want to scale it on the X and Y axis without the Z. So S, Shift Z, and then here you go. And then we can select the faces down there so we create the bottom part of the caps. Maybe extrude and scale up, and then just extrude again. Then extrude and scale, or like maybe inset. And then extrude, maybe one more. Perfect. And then we can take this part and maybe make it a little bit wider. Scale it on the x-axis basically, and then extrude maybe a little bit more. I think this is okay, but maybe we can make it a little bit thinner. This is a little bit too thick, so select everything and then move it a little bit up. So yeah, I think this is okay. Wait, just maybe we can also take the edge here and maybe just move it something like this. And then we can go to the camera view, rotate the cap. Kinda fits where the sketch is. Go to wireframe mode so you know it's there. Now, since this is a little bit taller, we can move it alongside. Let's try the X. Press X and X again to go sideways. So no, then Y. It's gonna go on the Y global Y axis, but I want it on the Y of this object. So now we have the cap, we have the head, we have the body, arms, and the helmet. Maybe you can also just block out the backpack as well, since we're here. So yeah, let's just create another cube. This one, just make it a little bit thinner here. Just scale it on the Y-axis and then scale it up. And then, let's see, maybe a little bit smaller. Select everything and then make it smaller, and then duplicate the upper face here and then extrude up. This is okay. And then make an edge loop, 2 edge loops. Select the upper face and move up. So now we have, I think, the backpack shape. We can try to place it in its place now, like so. Maybe move this a little bit up so G and the ZZ. Let's check that. I think it's okay. I think now it's fine. Maybe scale it something like this. Yeah, now it fits the sketch. Just one tiny part. We can also block out the buttons here. It wouldn't hurt. So Shift right click, then Shift A, add a cube, make it a little bit smaller on the Z axis, and then just place it where the button should be. So rotate it, scale it down really, then just maybe select the face and then move it. Now we have one button and we have the other button. So as you can see, we have the buttons for the backpack, and if we also press Alt H to unhide everything, now we have a block out for the monkey, like the arms, the legs, the body, helmet, and everything. It's all good now. But of course you can, this is the backpack, so rename it. Now we have the rough blockouts for the model. Usually that's what you do when you're starting with a scene, because it helps you just imagine the composition, place everything where it should be, and then you can work on the details each object at a time.
Now with that done, let's move to blocking out other elements.